Australia is a vast and beautiful country, a continent of stunning contrasts. It's no wonder that millions of people from all over the world dream of coming here each year, drawn by its unique allure and promise of adventure. They see pictures of endless sunny beaches, imagine seeing amazing native animals like kangaroos and koalas, and hear stories of vibrant, friendly cities. This dream is shared across the globe, especially in places like New Zealand, China, the UK, and the US. For them, Australia is a place of hope. It is a place where they can find a better job. It is a place where they can get a good education. It is a place where they can just start a new life. The idea of a fresh start is very powerful. It pulls people from faraway places. They pack their bags and travel across the oceans to this land of opportunity. To come to Australia, most people need official permission from the government. This crucial document is called a visa. A visa is like a ticket that not only grants you entry, but also specifies how long you can stay and what you're permitted to do while you're here. There are many different kinds of visas, each for a specific purpose, like tourism, study, or work. While getting a visa can be a long and detailed process, it's an essential one. For the millions who succeed, it is the very first step toward making their Australian dream a reality. Overstaying a visa is a simple idea, but it has very big consequences. Every visa has an expiry date. This date is written clearly on your visa grant letter. When that date passes, if you are still in Australia, you have overstayed your visa. It means you are now in the country without permission from the government. From that moment on, you are considered an unlawful non-citizen. This is a very serious legal term. It does not matter if you overstayed by 1 day or 1 year. Many people overstay by accident. They might forget the date, or they might get confused about the rules. Sometimes they apply for a new visa, but they make a mistake on the form and the application is rejected. In other cases, a personal crisis happens. A person might get very sick. Once you have overstayed, you are living in the shadows. Life becomes a daily struggle to stay hidden and avoid any contact with authorities. The Australian government takes visa rules very seriously. Let's talk about Maria. Maria came to Australia from the Philippines on a student visa. She was studying to be a nurse, but her mother back home became very sick. Another story is about a man named Chen from China. He came to Australia on a tourist visa to visit his cousin. He loved the relaxed lifestyle and the fresh air. Chen found a job on a farm, picking fruit. Then there is the story of Fatima, a mother from Pakistan. She and her husband came to Australia on skilled work visas. They had 2 young children who were born in Australia. Everything was going well until her husband's company closed down. For a few months, they were overstayers. Fatima said it was the most stressful time of her life. Maria was trying to help her family. Chen was looking for a better life. Fatima was trying to keep her family together. They all shared the same feeling: fear. The Australian government has clear rules for people who overstay their visas. The main law is the Migration Act, 1958. This law gives the government the power to find, detain, remove unlawful non-citizens from the country. One of the most serious consequences of overstaying is being detained. You are put in an immigration detention center. These centers are like prisons. You're not free to leave. People can be held in detention for weeks, months, years, while the government arranges removal. If you are removed from Australia, you will likely face a re-entry ban. You cannot apply for another Australian visa for a set period. The standard ban is 3 years. A 3-year ban can hugely impact your life. Besides being detained and banned, you'll have a negative immigration history. Future visa applications will ask about past overstays. This one mistake can follow you for life, closing doors to travel and opportunities worldwide. When you overstay your visa, your ability to work legally disappears immediately. The work rights that were attached to your previous visa, whether for skilled work or part-time student employment, are gone. This forces people into a vulnerable shadow economy, where they work for cash, often for a fraction of the minimum wage. These jobs are not only low-paying, but often have very poor, unregulated conditions, leaving you with no legal protection against exploitation. For the many international students who choose Australia for their education, overstaying their visa means their journey comes to a sudden stop. Your enrollment is cancelled, and you cannot be enrolled in any university or college. This is heartbreaking for students who have invested heavily, both financially and emotionally, in their dreams of graduating. all that hard work is lost, as they cannot continue their studies in Australia. The impact on family life is perhaps the most painful part of overstaying. If you have family in Australia, like a partner or children, living as an overstayer creates constant, underlying stress and fear. Every day is lived with the anxiety of being discovered. If you have children who are Australian citizens, the situation is even more complicated. You face the terrible possibility of being deported and forced to leave your children behind, tearing the family apart. This constant fear also leads to social isolation, cutting you off from the community and basic services. This isolation can be profoundly lonely. You are living in a country full of people, but you feel completely alone, invisible in plain sight. Living as an overstayer means, well, living with constant fear. This fear becomes a part of your daily life. Every knock on the door can make your heart jump. Every time you see a police officer or an official-looking vehicle, you feel a wave of panic. This constant state of high alert is exhausting. It wears you down mentally and physically over time. You worry about money. You worry about your family back home. It can make it hard to sleep at night and hard to focus during the day. Many people who overstay experience high levels of stress, which can lead to depression and anxiety disorders. But even in this difficult situation, people still hold on to hope. They hope to fix their visa situation. They hear stories of others getting a new visa. It gives them strength. Hope is the small light in the darkness. There is also shame and regret for many. Even if you have overstayed your visa, it is important to know that there might be options available. The worst thing you can do is to continue hiding. The Australian government encourages people who have overstayed to come forward voluntarily. One of the most important things to do is to get professional legal advice. You should speak to a registered migration agent or an immigration lawyer. These are experts who understand Australia's complex migration laws. There are community legal centres and support organisations that can help people in this situation. These organisations often provide free or low-cost legal advice. In some cases, the only option may be to leave Australia. A migration agent can help you plan your departure in a way that minimises the negative consequences. For example, by leaving with the help of a bridging visa E. While leaving the country you have come to call home is very difficult, it can be the start of a new path. The best way to deal with overstaying is to not let it happen in the first place. An overstay, even for a day, can have serious consequences, including a potential ban on returning to Australia. Prevention is key. If you are on any kind of visa in Australia, you must know your visa expiry date. You can check this and your conditions anytime using the free Vivo online system. Put a reminder on your phone well in advance. You should also know the conditions of your visa. For example, if you are a student, you need to know how many hours you are allowed to work. You must also attend enough classes and maintain adequate health insurance for your entire stay, a common requirement for many visa types. If your life situation changes, you need to think about how it affects your visa. Do not wait. It is always better to ask for help early from an official source like the Department of Home Affairs website, or from a registered migration agent. If you want to stay in Australia longer than your current visa allows, you must apply for a new visa before your current one expires. Make sure you have all the correct documents. A small mistake can cause your application to be delayed or refused. If you apply for a new visa before your old one expires, you will usually be granted a bridging visa A. This allows you to remain lawfully while your new application is processed. Always seek help from a professional who is legally qualified to give immigration assistance as policies can change. The stories of people who have overstayed their visas are not just sad tales. They are important lessons for all of us. These stories show the human side of immigration rules. They remind us, behind every visa application and every expiry date, there is a person with hopes, fears, and a family. For those who are currently on a temporary visa, this is a clear warning. Know your visa expiry date. Let their stories motivate you. Be organized. Ask for help when you need it. Your visa is your key to a life of opportunity in Australia. The journey of an overstayer is incredibly difficult, but finding a way out of the shadows is possible. Coming forward, seeking legal advice, resolving your status. It also means an end to the constant fear. There is hope after overstaying. Ultimately, Australia is a country built by people who came from all over the world. The Australian dream is precious, and with care and attention, it is a dream that can be protected.